Sad news out of our nation's capital today. California Senator Dianne Feinstein's staff announced that she passed away last night at the age of 90. By the way, our prayers, thoughts with the senator's family. Let us be very blunt here. Democrats should be ashamed of themselves. Her obvious health struggles were readily apparent with anybody with eyes to see for many, many months now. Earlier this year, she missed nearly, 3 months battling shingles. When asked about her absence, you may recall, shortly after returning to the Hill, I've been here working. She had no recollection during a testy exchange with reporters. Not a good moment. Her staff was shielding her from the media. You might recall, for example, the time that we had literally had somebody in her ear saying when she was called upon, given a speech, rather than just voting, just say aye, just say aye. Okay. She was not up to the job at that point, and prominent Democrats across the country just simply refused to do what was in her best interest. Let her retire in dignity. Why? That's politics. And you know what? It's kind of heartless, and in many ways, you could even argue soulless. Here with reaction, Fox News contributor Tammy Bruce, Fox News medical contributor Dr. Nicole Saphier. Dr. Nicole, those two moments alone, when she didn't remember that she hadn't been there for 3 months. I've been here the whole time. No, she wasn't there the whole time. Or, being called upon and having to have an aide whisper, just say aye. Basically, it's so embarrassing for her. She had a distinguished career, many, many decades. And to not put her health and her best interest at heart and her legacy, because people sadly will remember a lot of the last days, not the good times and the dedicated years of service. That's sad to me.
Well, Sean, Senator Feinstein has been a force when it came to breast cancer legislation, introducing the PALS Act, working with breast density legislation, a lot of things that I deal with. She has ensured that young women have access to screening mammograms and other screening modalities. But unfortunately, as you're pointing out right now, she is not necessarily going to be remembered for her impact that she had through her seat in the Senate. We have to acknowledge that she did, break through that glass ceiling by living to the age of 90 that far exceeded the U.S. life expectancy for a woman, which is about 80 years old. In fact, less than 5% of U.S. women make it to the age of 90. But throughout the course of this last year, before then, all we knew that she had a pacemaker placed at the age of 83. She didn't really have any major medical issues. But over the course of the last year, she had viral encephalitis, Ramsay-Hunt syndrome, and then we've seen a slow deterioration of her physical health and probably cognitive health as well. She even suffered a fall late this summer. And as you're pointing out, yes, it is very obvious that she was deteriorating, and it is sad that at this point throughout the last year, this is how people are going to remember her by. She should have been in retirement. She should have been enjoying the last days at home with her friends and family, yet they were still wheeling her in to do votes via a wheelchair. They were telling her what to do because she didn't seem like she really understand. It's very sad the way that this looks out, almost bordering elder abuse.
It's not age, Tammy, because you can look at Bernie Sanders. I mean, that guy's older than Joe Biden, but he's still pretty sharp as a tack, and he's got a very high energy level. Donald Trump, Exhibit B. I mean, he has a very high energy level, and is cognitively. I've sat with him, interviewed him. It was supposed to be an hour, ends up being 2 hours, on a wide range of topics. What the question I have here is, the real reason was they didn't want Gavin Newsom, who had promised to put a minority in her place if an opening occurred. There was politics in play and people that wanted Adam Schiff to get that job. Well, Adam Schiff, according to Gavin Newsom, is not going to be on that short list. And I believe that was a play. Am I wrong?
It's all politics. This is a political position. Dianne Feinstein was a political woman, really introduced to the country after the murders in San Francisco of Moscone and Harvey Milk. And she had to tell the city of San Francisco about those assassinations. That's when she became mayor, at a point where everything seemed to be collapsing in San Francisco because of that violence. She also was the conservative Democrat. But Californians used to, elect women like Dianne Feinstein, and there's few and far between now. Just really moderate individuals. I know there's arguments and differences about how we would approach things, and we sit here as quarterbacks and judge those dynamics. But she does, as Dr. Saphier noted, has a tremendous history when it comes to accomplishments. But every single position, including, and we can't dismiss that she may have been involved in the choice to continue. She had interests in what the Senate was doing. She had a lot of power. She had a lot of sense of herself. But like Fetterman or Joe Biden and others, is that we see some issues cognitively, but then there is some clarity at other times. The American people are going to have to decide about what's appropriate and what it is they're going to continue to put up with. But I would say that Feinstein, her death, is a loss for the politics of this country, for what the Democrats used to be. And what we need now are people that can cross a bridge where we have some things in common. And also, you said shame on the Democrats. I agree. But shame on many of the conservatives that I hear from on social media. When I worked on her 92 campaign when I was the president of NOW in Los Angeles. She's a lovely woman.
By the way, this is before Tammy saw the light. Just so I want to remind everybody. Thank you both. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.